We need to take the front off the unit and just lift up. Basically it just comes off like that, there's no screws holding it. And what we're after is the meter here. And the meter can be taken off. Actually this has got batteries in already. So I wonder, okay. You can take it off by just sliding it to the side, because as you see there's a little hook for it to go over where it just slots onto the unit.
See that. Yeah.
And what we need to do is we need to take off the retaining pins, which are here and here, because these are security pins which are there to show whether or not the device has been tampered with. Now the only way you can actually get into that is by cutting through with a marking knife, a Stanley knife, through that point there and that point there. Then that releases this fob, and then these two parts of the, once you've taken the other one off, these two parts of the meter then just open up and you can expose the battery. Normally though, you don't have any sign on that whatsoever, so obviously we're doing this job as a prevention for when it might need to be changed in the future. So we've got batteries which are okay in this particular instance. So I need to go and get a Stanley knife then to cut through the two units. This is a fairly difficult thing to do, and you have to be careful, but you need to get your blade of your knife actually into there and cut through. That's it, it clicked, which means that the tab has actually become free. And then cut again, and that means that that tab now will fall through. And the same with the other side. Ow, this is on. I think we're replacing the batteries in this one just as a precaution, because the symbol showed on here as a exclamation mark, which normally means that there is an issue with the unit. And I think that Derek has probably indicated it's likely to be a battery issue. So just cutting through the second one now.
Now if the battery is actually flat, is there an indication on that little screen?
It's blank, completely blank.
Right.
Right, so having cut through the two, I can now hopefully prise open the unit. It just needs a little bit more off this bit here. It's coming out this way. There it is. That's one out. And the same with this end. There you go. And there you see the batteries. Just take this pin out, make sure it's easier to get into the battery. Now to change the batteries, we need to take them out one at a time. It's very important that you don't take two of them out at once. And the only reason we're changing these are because this particular terminal, we can't get batteries sourced with this particular terminal. So the next thing I need to do is to take those terminals off this battery and put them onto the replacement battery.
Okay.
Started?
Yeah.
Now what I need to do is just to take the insulation off these batteries so I can get to the wires.
That's the old battery.
This is the old battery, yeah. And what I tend to do is to keep the insulation. So if I pull it down, I'm usually left with a little bit of insulation. Now this is not a typical one, because this one actually has been clamped on. Normally they're soldered in position, so I'm going to need to take a different approach. And what I'll do is I'll show you what I normally do with the ones which are just soldered in place.
Okay.
So when we get the terminals off, they're normally just soldered on, and you're able to pull back the screening and reuse it. And so all I do is take a new battery from Radio Spares.
And you can order these online from
Yeah.
Radio Space.
That's right, yeah, they are. I don't know, I'll tell you the cost later. And I need to get solder and a soldering iron. There's the soldering iron, and here's my solder. Right, and normally it's easier if you have two people. I don't know, if somebody can hold the battery whilst you solder, that's perfect. Now then, I need to heat this up. This is just a normal soldering iron.
A battery operated
Yeah,
one.
it's battery, yeah. 1, 2, 3. That's it. It's just come online. And now if I press this, the little red button on there tells me that it's not quite ready to solder. When it goes green, it should be ready to solder. These are much more flexible, but you can't do large. It's green, so off we go. We put down the solder first of all. And what we're doing is we're just creating a soldered joint there, so that it's easier to attach the new lead onto it. What are you? Sorry.
It's a bit hot.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay, it's okay. Yeah. And do the same with this one. Right, now that's ready to solder the terminals on, and it's important to make sure that you've got the right terminal. The black one always goes to the larger terminal on the bottom, which is this one here. Just apply the solder, wait, and that's good. And you'll see the positive one has always got a smaller setting on the top. Again, we just have to wait for it to get ready. Just getting up to heat they are. Oh, I missed it. My eyesight isn't as good as it should be. And my shaking hand. Got it. Right, so if we take the terminals off in this way from the previous battery, then all we need to do is to just pull down on the insulation, and it just covers the terminal where it used to be. And the same with this one. Right. Now the way the original battery was put in is that was folded back, and this one was put to one side like that. So normally at this point, the blank screen that you would have on the unit would actually burst back into life, which is good news for people who have been paying an approximated bill for a little while. So this one just slides back into place, and then the battery fits very snugly back into the recess there. And second one can go back in there. And then all you need to do is to put the outer case back on. And these clip back into place. And then all you need to do is find the best way of sliding that back on. Normally it's from this angle over here. Where's it gone? Oops. This one's a difficult one.
This one, it's a bit tricky, but normally it's a relatively simple job.
Yeah. Well,
There we go.
That's it. And then all we need
So
to do,
now the screen is showing.
12 units. There's still an error message on it, but these give the relevant bits of information about the unit. I don't know why there's an exclamation mark, but at least we know the batteries are good now.
Excellent, well done.
Right.